Assalamu alaikum, welcome back to Small Talk with another small quick market update before the holiday. This is a very short trading week. Tomorrow is half day, the Thanksgiving Eve, and then of course Thanksgiving we have a day off, and then we trade on Friday, and then it's the weekend again. So we only get like 2.5 days or 3 days for trading, roughly. So what's going on in the market? We all know that MicroStrategy has bought $5.4 billion worth of Bitcoin between November 18th and November 24th. And I was reading somewhere, sorry, it was 3 days ago, I kind of forgot what I read, but it said that somebody lent him $3 billion without interest. Like, seriously? Somebody will lend somebody that much money and that too interest free? That's crazy. That shows how much people trust um, the in the MicroStrategy and the growth. It has gone up 500 and then some percent in past 1 year. So MicroStrategy is obviously doing wonderful. Bitcoin price, even with the $5.4 billion purchase that MicroStrategy make in the past 3 days, it is still going down to, it was when I was right before I started recording this video, it was $92,000, and I think I know why. I was waiting for it to hit that $100,000 mark. It almost got there, but it never hit that $100,000 mark, which is okay. I think most people, when I look at Bitcoin, I look at it as store of value. Um, it's not designed to buy burgers on daily basis or go grocery shopping with Bitcoin. It's for those wealthy, high net worth clients who don't keep cash, obviously, and they invest into the store of value. For example, they invest in the stock market or real estate, and now Bitcoin. So the average buyer of Bitcoin, the retail investors like you and I, of course, we're not high net worth client and we're not looking for store of value, which you should. Not a personalized financial advice, but you should. But of course, we don't have that kind of money where we have to keep putting that money away so it doesn't lose its value, because we know fiat currency over time, because of its depreciation and because of inflation, it just loses its value. That money is extremely inflated. So those high net worth individuals, they don't like to hold on to cash, so they invest into something that has store of value. And Bitcoin is designed to be store of value because it's scarce. There's only 21 million of them that are going to be produced ever in the history of Bitcoin. So the average buyer, the retail investors, the retail traders, a common man, I guess, they were buying to ride the wave, and they made quick 30-40% in the past, ever since election, like about a month and a half roughly, not even. It's been actually less than a month. In past 3 weeks, the Bitcoin has gone up 30%, so they got some quick profit. So those people who had money sitting to buy one coin, they just invested into it. And then retail, of course, they even though they don't buy a lot in any of the stock or currency or anything like that, but as when it's accumulated, it adds up quite a bit. And even last time when Bitcoin reached $64,000, it was mainly because all these retail investors were buying Bitcoin. None of the ETFs, hedge funds, very few, except for, I mean, of course, MicroStrategy was always there, but there were not any ETFs and hedge fund managers who had exposure to Bitcoin or cryptocurrency in general. So even then, the price was gone up so much because of the retail investors into Bitcoin, and then it has to collapse because the big whales took some benefit out of it, and they crashed it down. So it went down to, I think, $18,000 or $19,000 not too long ago. Missed those days. Anyways, so even with $5.4 billion investment by MicroStrategy in Bitcoin, it still went down quite a bit right after that. And I think the reason was because it had gone up so much in price. Those people who wanted to make quick money right before the holidays, and because this is a Thanksgiving week, we have a short week, and then we have weekend after that. They just didn't want to hold that on, past Thanksgiving week, because historically, if you look at the stock market tends to do very well right Thanksgiving weekend before the Thanksgiving, and then right after Thanksgiving the market goes down, and then it picks back up for the Santa Claus rally, or the holiday rally, whatever you want to call it, and then it crashes again at the end of the at the end of December for tax season harvesting. I guess that's why so many people sold and got out of Bitcoin, because they didn't want, if the stock market worked according to the historic pattern that it has, and it followed the trend, it's doing well now, but then it's going to go down after Thanksgiving, and then it will go back up again for the Santa Claus rally, and then it will go down again right before the end of, right at the end of the month of December, because people will of course want to take profit and sell their dead stocks, or they'll do tax harvesting, and I think so many retailers and investors have gotten out of it. That's why it just put downward pressure on Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, before I recorded this video, was at $92,000. I'm happy. I actually want it to go down, as my viewers know, because I don't own any Bitcoin right now, and I want to get into it. So my prediction for the coin is, well, today is a very strange day. It's a very boring day in the stock market. The stock market is going sideways. Lots of things are going up and down. Tesla has gone down, of course. I'm going to talk about that later. So my prediction for the Bitcoin is that it's at 92 right before Christmas, right before the end of the year, when the tax harvesting season starts. I think Bitcoin probably would hit $80,000. Not a personalized financial advice, but I think it's gonna hit between around $80,000 range. And if it goes down to that range, have some money on the sideline and get into it, because I think this is the last time that we're gonna see Bitcoin under $100,000 anytime soon. I'm not sure if we'll ever see this price range again. So if you think you missed the boat and you want to get into this, I think that you should have some money sitting on the sideline, and if it goes below $86,000, I would definitely buy one. I think I can come up with that kind of money from somewhere. I just have to beg my husband to lend me some money so I can buy a coin. He doesn't like cryptocurrency, so it's a battle to get money from him. Anyways, so if it goes to $80,000, I think it's going to be a win-win situation for me. I would like to get into Bitcoin at that point and then ride the wave, because I think in a very short to medium term, I can see it going up to $450,000, $500,000. And as I said before, as Kathy Wood said, and everybody in the media is talking about it, that it could go up to million, 1.5 million. The sky is the limit. So it could keep going up. With the new administration, of course, with President-elect Trump, he's very pro crypto, and with him coming into winning this presidential election, I think the upper hand that we have as a Bitcoin owner, or we will have as a Bitcoin owner, is that he is going to eliminate lots of those regulations and that the previous government has put on decentralized currency, and with that being in effect, so many of the hedge funds and ETF managers, because there are lots of checks and balances on those hedge fund and ETF managers to make sure that they're not doing anything illegal, and because cryptocurrency has always been debatable to whether it's legal or illegal, they were always nervous to buy Bitcoin, and now that President Trump is elected, I think that fear is gone, and more people who wanted to get into cryptocurrency, but they were just nervous because they didn't want to have any kind of lawsuit against them or any kind of problem with the government. They just never bought cryptocurrency. They will obviously jump into it, which is going to put upward pressure on Bitcoin, and it's going to, just keep going up. And more people, when they see the prices going up, of course, the FOMO is going to kick in, and then more people will get in. And of course, the cycle just continues and the price keeps going up. Of course, MicroStrategy, they're very convinced that every time you don't buy a Bitcoin, it's going to cost you $13 million in the future. So they keep buying lots of Bitcoin whenever they can get their hands on it. So that's cryptocurrency. So I am hoping that it will go down to $80,000 range, and then I can get in. Of course, when you are investing into stock market or cryptocurrency, these kind of financial models are very risky. So only put the money in that you are absolutely willing to lose, because there's never a guarantee in stock market. If somebody tells you, put your money in and I can guarantee that you'll always win, they're lying to you. That's not how it works. You have to be mentally prepared to lose all of it, and to make lots of money from it. So where there's a risk, there's a reward. So of course we are being rewarded for the risk that we are taking. However, I always advise to take calculated risk. Don't just blindly follow something or someone that just because somebody said it, that doesn't mean it's going to happen. Stock market is a very risky business, and so is cryptocurrency. It's still at very early stage of its experiment, and I call it experiment because it is an experiment. It's going to be a new era when Bitcoin is very, like when everybody owns Bitcoin. That's going to be an evolutionary, a human evolution stage, in my opinion. Just like AI is like a human evolution stage, as since the industrial evolution. So we are evolving. Of course, our financial system is evolving, and the current financial model, the way it has been designed, of course, I'm gonna record a video on all of that. That is the most evil system. The fiat currency is the most evil currency that exists out there, and people are sick and tired of it. And because that currency is like unlimited, it's very inflated. In the name of quantitative easing, Federal Reserve can just press the button and add that much more money into the market, which means you have more inflow of fiat currency, which reduces the purchasing power of the currency, and people lose value over time. So therefore, Bitcoin, gold, real estate has always, I mean, Bitcoin was not there, but like gold and real estate has always been a store of value for those who have high net worth. And now people are investing into Bitcoin because they think it is a store of value because of the rarity and the scarcity of this digital currency. Okay, so that's my opinion on Bitcoin, and I think once the end of the year is over, I think Bitcoin is going to rise, and I gave you my reasons why. Now to Tesla. We probably everybody has heard the news by now that the Gavin Newsom of California, the governor of California, has announced that he will have his own EV tax credit, but his tax credit will not apply to Tesla. That's, of course, that news the Wall Street didn't take in very well. Stock was going up to $361 yesterday, and I was so excited because I was like, yes, we're going to go to 400. But then it started crashing, and I was like, what happened to Tesla? And I started reading the news, and I was like, oh, okay, great. Now, of course, market is going to poop because they just overreact to everything. I'm not saying that it's not going to have an impact on Tesla. Of course, it's going to have an impact. So if there are other EV companies like, let's say, Waymo, Cruise, I know they have, my husband, I don't know if I mentioned this before or not, but my husband worked for Cruise, and they have EVs in California, FSDs in California, and ride hailing as well. So they went and they actually rode in it, and it was pretty cool. I'm still trying to convince him to sit down and do a podcast with me so I can just give an insider's vision or view on these EVs, but he's not willing to do that. So anyways, I know Google's EV company has cars in Texas and California. Of course, they're going to get benefit from it. They're actually FSDs. So is Cruise. They have their FSDs in California and I think in Texas, if I remember correctly. So if they get the tax credit from California, they're going to get benefit, which is going to put down a little bit down pressure on Tesla. But you know, Tesla is something that you don't want to bet against ever. As you see, it dropped to $336 or $37, I think, yesterday, right after the news came that the governor of California is going to have his own tax credit for EVs, but he's not going to give it to Tesla. But it's trying to push back up again because there are people who don't want to miss the boat again. There are people who want to get into this stock because they know it has a lot going on. They can see the future ahead. And then they know as soon as Trump will take charge of the office, he is going to announce so many things which are going to be so good for Tesla, and that's why people are buying back in. But of course, it's such a large company that it takes time for a big company like this to have their stock price go up that quickly, because higher the value is, harder it is for the companies to bring their value up even more. But I think once it crosses again, this is a short week, and I think next week we're probably gonna crash anyway after the Thanksgiving. We may not, but historically speaking, that's what happens. that everything sells down after Thanksgiving is over, but this time it might be different. And then we'll have Santa Claus rally, and I'm hoping that during that Santa Claus rally we hit $400. No guarantees, because as you can see, as soon as I see that we're probably going to get there, somebody opens up their mouth and just affects the stock. So there are so many things going on right now in the market that is very unpredictable. But as far as the analysis is concerned, there is no hurdle. If everything goes smooth and there's no other negative news, if Tesla can maybe announce one good, small little good thing now, it will go to $400 before uh, the end of the year, in my opinion. But we'll see. Let's see how far it goes. But I think again, the future is there. It's gonna go to $415,000. Sorry, $400 to $415. Whether it happens before end of the year or not, I don't know that. I'm hoping that it might go. But again, whenever it's that time where Trump isn't in the office yet, and so many and Elon Musk has lots of rivals. He has problems. So many people have problem with him because he has problem with so many people. So the governor of California, of course, he had lots of issues with him, and that's why he left California and he went to moved to Texas. His gigafactories moved to Texas because California is a very high paying state, a high tax state. So he didn't want to pay all those corporate taxes in California. And then we all know the history. If you haven't, you can look back. I think 2 years ago, there was a huge issue between Tesla, between Elon Musk and Gavin Newsom. So he has lots of problems with lots of people, and lots of people have problem with him. So everybody is going to trying to make sure that they affect Tesla in some way. But I think Tesla is so big as a company, and Elon Musk is so influential, and people trust him. People have faith in him because of, I think he's very charming as a person as well. So people just don't care, and they just keep on buying. And of course, nobody cares if he's a good person, bad person. Nobody cares about that. Everybody is in the market to make money. And if they see the potential is there, the upward movement, the wave is there, the momentum is there, people are going to take advantage of it, and people are going to jump in. So I think it's going to hit 400, but I might be wrong. So please make your decisions based off of your own financial situations. Don't bet all your savings on Tesla because I said it's going to go to 400, because it might not, as I've been saying in the past, that they could make an announcement, anything could happen, and that's what's been happening. It's been facing all these hurdles and small hiccups here and there. But I think next year is a good year for Tesla, and it's going to do very well. What else do I want to talk about? NVIDIA, yes. I recorded a video last week, actually not last week, two days ago, and I did say the market overreacted, and I'm still sticking by my opinion because I think market is overreacting. But again, I've also explained why it's overreacting, because the bigger chunk of money comes from all these ETF managers, the hedge fund managers, the suits that they call them, and they obviously have a large amount that they invest into these big names. When they are not satisfied, then they can obviously pull their money out, and that puts downward pressure. But they have a reason to do that. As I mentioned before, they have to satisfy their clients on quarterly basis, on yearly basis. They have to show a report how well their portfolio did so they can attract more clients. So they have to adjust their portfolio according to their clients, according to their own, to represent their success. But we as an individual, we can make a strategy and build our portfolio based off of our own situations, because we don't have to impress anybody. We don't have clients that we are taking money from and investing in it, and we don't have to give them a report at the end of the quarter or at the end of the year. So we can make strategy based off of how we want our money to grow. And I think NVIDIA is a very good place to put your money in, put our money in, and let it ride. With the earnings that they had, I believe NVIDIA should be at $264 at the minimum. But it's not going there. I don't know why. But does that mean it's not going to go? I think it's still going to go up right before the holidays. There's no way that it won't go up to 264 to maybe 270-ish range. I did mention in my last video that I still see at least 30% upside from this point. But as I said, there's a never guarantee. However, if you're looking for short term for the next month or so, that's risky. But if you're looking at a long term, at least 6 months to a year, I think good time to get in. It has a small pullback. If you have money sitting on the sideline, not personalized financial advice, you can buy some NVIDIA and ride the wave, because in 2025, there's no way that it's not going to go up. I think it's going to go up regardless. Next 5, 10, even 20 years is going to be the era of AI, and it's going to do very well. So that was my update for the day. Happy holidays to everybody. Enjoy your Thanksgiving, and go shopping on Black Friday if you made some money from Bitcoin. I'm happy for you. Um, I'll see you after the holiday weekend, inshallah, which is Monday. I'll try to record my video in between, but I'm hosting, I don't know, about 50 people, so I'm very busy. I'll be cooking for next 2 days, so I don't think I'm going to have time. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Give my video a thumbs up, and good luck out there. Until next video, take care.